Hello, welcome to the Jim Kleiber Show. Today is Tuesday, January 12th, 2021. I want to explore a few things today. One, I want to explore sitting further back from the mic to see if you can still hear me, but also maybe see me and I'm not so up close on the screen. The second thing I want to explore is motivation. Why do we do the things that we do or don't do the things that we want to do or think we're supposed to do? And on this topic, it reminds me of a conversation I had with this guy named Tom Chi once. And he worked on Google Glass. He was at Google working in their kind of special projects division for a while. And I gave him a ride to the airport once, and he was telling me, he says, you know what, I have all the skills. I know how to sell a company. I know how to do research. I know how to build a product. I know how to do all these different things, but for some reason, I'm not doing it. It's like I know how to do it. I'm just not doing it. And I look at my last year and I think about that a lot. I've built so many tools to help me get better at expressing emotion, feeling emotion, processing emotion, being emotionally healthy, being physically healthy, so many of these things. And yet I am in the worst physical shape of my life. My muscle is like deteriorated after, I've been at home for, almost a year now. And arguably being at home means I could have a huge routine, an incredible routine where I could exercise every single day and I could be in really good shape. Because of where I live, I'm at home in the suburbs. There's a lot of space around. It was warm throughout the spring, summer, and fall. Even in the winter, it's not too cold. But I haven't been taking care of myself so much. And it really makes me ask the question about motivation. What makes us do the things that we actually do? Why do we do the things that we do? And I can pull it down to, I was feeling certain emotions about this or about that. And I do think at the root of it, there are emotional reasons why we make the decisions that we do and behave the way we do. But one thing that jumps out to me a lot is that we seem, or at least I seem, to be motivated not by the question why, but for whom am I doing something? So I've noticed that even if I'd go out for a walk over this last year, I'd go out for a walk, but I'd go quickly. I tell myself, okay, I'm going to go out for a walk. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to relax. And I go out and I go quickly. I go as fast as I can. And I try to get back. I'm trying to get back for what? Well, I'll look at Twitter, or I'll watch the news, or I'll record a podcast, or I'll do something else. Because for me, what I'm thinking in my mind is, if I'm out walking, it is not directly helping somebody else. And people are struggling right now. There's COVID-19. There's political instability. There's a lot going on right now in this country. And I need to help. And I've had that kind of guilt for going out and taking care of myself because it didn't seem like it was helping other people, especially not directly. And so I'd stay up late having a conversation with somebody because I think, okay, this conversation will help them. Or I'll do something else, just thinking that, almost swimming in this world of uncertainty and thinking, or basically not swimming, but thrashing and barely keeping my head above the water, trying to tread water in this world of so much uncertainty. And feeling so much frustration and disappointment with myself for not doing more to help. And I think that's why taking care of myself hasn't worked so well, because I think this is a fundamental challenge I've been working on for a couple of years now, is trying to figure out how what I would call is step one about me, step two about you, and step three about we or us. I've been trying to figure out why so many of us don't do step one. While we pay attention to the other person over and over again, we so often get stuck in step two. You'll see it a lot in conflicts. You did this and you did that, and you don't want this, and this is what you really want, and this is how you're feeling. It's like, what? And then the other person responds, well, you don't care about me, and you did this and you did that, and I know, I know what your intentions are. It's like, huh? What? And so we can get so stuck in focusing on the other person. And what I've seen over the years is that focusing on ourselves can really help us feel better. The trick is, why should we focus on ourselves? And I've stumbled on it in so many different ways over these last couple of years. Why should I focus? Sometimes when I get to the absolute brink, and then I go, okay, then I need to focus on myself. But so yeah, I think a lot of last year has been seeing so much happening outside of me, feeling so much stress and anxiety and helplessness about what's going on, and frustration and anger with myself for not doing more to help, that I've been not doing step one. And so this comes back to the idea of for whom. So when I think about doing step one, the things that have helped me over the past year, prioritize and recognize the importance of paying attention to myself, is when I frame it as leadership training, or when I frame it as being a leader, or when I frame it as emotional leadership, or when I talk about trickle-down emotions. Basically, when I figure out a way to describe how step one impacts step two. So maybe it'll be easier with more tangible examples. So how step one impacts step two? How does my condition impact your condition? And how does it flow that way? So trickle-down emotions. If I am feeling angry, and if I feel angry about not taking care of my body or not sleeping well at night, there's a very good chance that when I interact with you, I'm going to be more angry than normal. And that may cause you to think that you did something to anger me. And that may cause you to get angry because I'm not telling you why I'm angry. And then now we get into a fight. And really, it has more to do with the fact that I didn't sleep well. So reverse engineering that, if I slept well and I felt grateful for how I took care of my body and paid attention to going to bed early and paid attention to feeling really relaxed while I was sleeping and not thinking about other things, not trying to solve problems in my sleep, and really being present, then there's a likelihood that when I wake up, I'll feel more relaxed, I'll feel more grateful, more relieved, and more hopeful in a way. And then when I interact with you, again, I will be more grateful, appreciative, hopeful, etc. And so that's one way. It's just that our emotions can directly transfer to someone else. And I think this happens so much. And what else? Yeah, I think that's one of the main ways. And I think why I like the idea of leadership is because it says I'm not doing it for one specific person. I'm doing it for many, many, many people. I think one, I remember reading about, I think it was Navy SEALs or some other military members who were overseas and going through some really, really hard times, really hard battles. And they said what kept them alive was thinking about getting home to their family, being able to see their wife one more time or their kids one more time. That drive to be able to see their family members and to be with their family members really kept them going. And I think that can be a very strong motivating factor for us. Why would I take a specific job, If I have someone if I'm just relying on income from myself, maybe it's not such a big deal. But if somebody's relying on me to have money so that they could live, so that they can have food, again, whether that's a spouse or whether it's a kid or it's a parent or it's a neighbor or somebody just very close in our lives, then we take the job. Like sometimes we don't even think about it. We're like, I need to take this because I am so strongly motivated for this person. And sometimes we do that for our own health as well. I think sometimes we do it for very specific individuals. We have a family friend whose son and daughter-in-law are adopting a child. And she seems to have a renewed zeal for life. She wants to take better care of herself because she's going to have a grandkid. She's got someone to live for, She wants to see this kid. She wants to play with this kid. She wants to spend as much time with him as possible. As I mentioned, like the military case of wanting to come home, like why? But even the fighting, why are we fighting? Or I hate to put it this way, but a lot of times I think crime is motivated by for whom rather than why are we doing something. A lot of times we don't know why we're doing something. We're doing it for that person. So I guess there's a why, but the why is related to the other person, Why did you hit that guy over the head? Because he was hurting somebody I cared about. Oh, I was doing it for him or for her or for him. I wasn't doing it for me. I knew I was going to get in trouble, but I couldn't stand watching that person get hurt anymore. There's a talk by Simon Sinek, I believe. I think he's got a book too. It's called is it The Power of Why? Sounds about right. But it talks about how there's a circle. He says there's what, and then you go in, there's how, and then you go into the center of it, it's why. And a lot of companies, when they're selling something, they talk about the what, and then maybe the how, and then the why. And he says some of the strong companies start the why and move out to the what, or move out to the how, then move out to the what. And I've been contemplating this one a lot. I don't actually know if I believe that's how it works. Because I think we're really good at rationalizing why. Personally, I can come up with so many different stories for why somebody should do something. So many of them. But I wonder if really we do things for whom. If that's one of the strongest motivating factors we have. Why did I sign up to take Krav Maga back in 2012? Was it 2012? 2013. Yeah. Why did I sign up in 2013 over the summer to take Krav Maga? Because I had been dating a woman. I was madly in love. We broke up. And she didn't feel safe walking in an alley with me or something. She didn't feel safe, like I could protect her physically. And I wanted, like the pain of the breakup destroyed me. And I wanted to feel strong enough that I could protect her in a situation like that. Strong enough, but also skilled enough, if it makes sense. And so I took Krav Maga, and I think I took it 3 days a week or something, or 4 days a week. I was going very consistently. And I got into the best shape of my life. And that's why I had a very strong motivating factor for why I was doing it. And the motivating factor was a person and trying to protect or take care of a person. And I see this a lot. I remember I dated a girl back in college, and she smoked a lot and smoked cigarettes a lot. And we started dating, and I really didn't like the smoking. And it was really, I grew up in a household where my mother smoked most of my life. And the girl I was dating stopped smoking. I was like, what? You stopped? Maybe she had other reasons, but I think she was motivated to stop partially because of me. I was like, wow. And so really just exploring this idea about why do we do things, or more than anything, for whom are we doing these things? And maybe we can take it even to the political case. Why, when we say, oh, why would people go in and break into the Capitol? I'm really asking, for whom are they doing this? Who, who do they think will benefit from this? Who are they trying to protect? Who are they doing this on behalf of? I remember chatting with some people on Twitter throughout the year about politics, and one person seemed to really support Trump because they had a son in the military who was overseas and almost got killed and knows people who got killed. And so they want people in the military coming back because they want to see their son. They don't want to see their son die overseas. And they don't want other people to have their son die overseas. So they're doing it for their son, or for, at least in their mind, it's for themselves as well, but for their son or for their neighbors who also have people overseas. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know if we pause and ask ourselves that question so much. For whom am I doing this? You say, oh, why am I doing this? Why am I not doing this? Why are they doing this? Instead of, for whom are they doing this? It seems a bit strange sometimes to say for whom, but who are they doing this for, if you want to say it that way? Who are they doing this on behalf of? On the behalf of? So when I think about doing something for a specific individual, it does motivate me very strongly, you know? But I think even more so when I think about doing it for many individuals, then I can feel even more motivated. You know, why would I get up and go for a run? If I'm going for a run, that means I'm not making a podcast. That means I'm not making a tool. That means I'm not communicating with people. It means I'm not resolving conflicts with people. It means I'm not helping somebody raise money, or I'm helping, I'm not helping someone directly if I'm going out for a run. But if I'm going out for a run because I want to have the strength, because I need to have the strength and endurance to help people when they need it, and because I want to inspire other people to take care of themselves, and because I want to be here for my parents as they get older, and I want to be here for any potential kids that I have, and I want to be here so that when people in the community need someone who's got strength and endurance, that I can be the one to step up. I want to be here when there's I want to have the energy for personal but also professional life, for the people in my personal and professional lives. Then I feel a heck of a lot more motivated. If I look at what's going on with the state of leadership and how people are responding to, how the elected officials and such are responding to what's going on in the Capitol, I feel very motivated. Because I say, people want a leader. We are craving a leader who will stand up with strength and love. And those things require training. And so if I just tried to do the strength and love without practicing, without taking care of myself, I'll never make it. And so if people are looking for someone who will stand up and properly unite the country, not just unite the country in a facetious way, which is let's just pretend nothing happened, in the very much conflict avoidant way of taking something and sweeping it under the rug. And I'm not for that. I believe to actually unite and come together, we have to have the strength to stand up for what we believe in, and to tell people how we're actually feeling and what angers us, and to really stand up for the unity. And when I say that, again, if people break the laws, if people break the rules, understand that breaking the laws and breaking the rules hurts so many of us. And when we don't one of the most loving things we can do to other people is to tell them when they're hurting us, and to stop them from hurting us. So anyways, so I think our motivational factor can be very strongly, for whom are we doing these things? And I ask you that question, maybe you're not taking care of yourself. For whom do you want to take care of yourself? Again, maybe it's not a specific individual. Maybe it's like, for me, what motivates me a lot is looking at a group or a society. Sometimes it's just that nebulous idea of leadership, because leadership for me is I am doing something for me that will have a direct impact on other people. I am doing these podcasts so I can get better at speaking in an improvisational or ad hoc way, so that, so that I can get more comfortable speaking in front of a group when I have to speak on a specific topic, and I can build this skill. Because if I build this skill, I'm not building it for myself. I'm building it for me if I'm going into a position of leadership, whether that's a formal or informal position of leadership, where people are looking to me for answers, looking to me for guidance, looking to me for a clue on how to feel when we respond to things. And I've noticed over the last couple months, especially, I've been becoming more and more angry and more disconnected and closed off from a lot of people. And I was chatting with a group of my friends in Tanzania, and I got super angry. It was January 6th. It was after the Capitol breach. And one of my friends was like, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, but they were breaking in places in Portland. And I got furious. And many of my friends on there were like, this isn't you. Like, who this isn't the Jim that I know. And so since I haven't been taking care of myself, it is showing up in other ways, and people are seeing it and recognizing it. And it's having an impact on them. I think a lot of people over my life have been like, you're the optimistic one. You're the one who has hope. If you don't have hope anymore, if you aren't optimistic, then what am I going to do? I remember one friend of mine saying, please don't stop working on these tools for emotion. Please don't stop doing what you're doing, because if you stop, then what's left? Like, he just seemed to really rely on it in some ways. And so I think a lot of times when we do things, we forget that the impact that it has on other people. And this is the 100th show that I've done. 100 shows, 30 minutes minimum or so. That's it's crazy. That's 50 hours of you listening to me. And at the end of the day, one of the reasons I started this, like I said, is even if people don't listen, I'm going to improve my ability and my comfort to sit here and speak for 30 minutes straight. I am not normally a person that monologues for longer than 5 minutes. So to be able to just sit and talk into a camera for 30 minutes straight, and come up with topics and try to be coherent, a skill that I'm building. For whom am I building this skill? I'm building this skill for people who want to hear a leader speak coherently, want to hear a leader speak from the heart, not from a teleprompter all the time. Want to hear someone say what's on their mind, not what's on the paper. So that's, I'm doing it for me, for others, if that makes sense. So just want to end this reflecting on that concept of who do you do things for? For whom do you do things? I prefer that one. Is it for one specific individual that you feel a very strong connection to? Are you taking that martial arts class because you want to protect that one person? Are you getting your degree because you want to make one person proud? Are you taking that job because you want to provide financially for one person? Are you changing one of your vices? Did you stop drinking? Did you stop smoking? Did you stop doing drugs? Did you stop being addicted to something else, to gambling, for one person? And just the power of that. And then also the power of expanding it, not just for one person, but for many people, for a group of people, for a very small group or a very large group of people. Are you doing this for your country, as many people would say? Are you doing this for your city? Are you doing this for your family? Are you doing this for your ancestors? Are you doing this for the future generations? Are you doing this for people on the other side of the planet? Are you doing this for, who are you doing this for? So, just something to reflect on. And I just wanted to say that it's helped me. When I sit here and I think that I'm just recording these videos, these audio podcasts, for me, doesn't, what's the point? Just speaking into a box. But when I think about that I'm doing this for other people, I'm not only recording the message that they're hearing, but I'm doing it in a consistent way. So maybe it's providing some consistency for other people. Maybe it's giving other people the courage to do something themselves. Maybe it's helping people feel a little more relaxed and connected to life. Watching someone like me experiment live on these podcasts. With disheveled hair and a shorter beard now, but it was a crazy beard, and just wearing a hoodie and an orange shirt, and really just experimenting and playing. Maybe just playing in front of people can really help them as well. And so I say this is, if you're feeling stuck in motivation, if you're feeling stuck not doing the things that you want to do or doing things that you don't want to do, I'd suggest just trying to pull back and reflect on, for whom are you doing these things? And to, if you can find someone, or if you can find a group, sometimes it can make it a lot easier, or make us feel a lot more motivated and excited to do something, and justify it to ourselves. So me taking care of myself, me exercising, me eating right, me drinking more water, me relaxing, letting myself relax is, for me, okay, whatever. But to do it for other people so that I can inspire a culture of feeling relaxed, or so that when I interact with them, I feel more relaxed, or so that when I get into a position, a much maybe larger position of leadership, or more people are following, that I am prepared, that I have the skills, that I have the endurance, that I have the emotional capacity to deal with these situations. So, I didn't comment too much on the comments today. Some of them were coming in, they were talking about politics, and I'll interact with those people offline, but didn't want to veer too much into politics. I already feel guilty that I talked about it in this episode anyways. So, something for you to reflect on this Tuesday. And I will talk to you tomorrow. Okay.